Hello and welcome to Animated Education. Today we are going to talk about linear equations. So let's begin by solving one. Let's say we have an equation 3x equals 6. So how do we get x value? Because solving an equation means getting an x value or other variable in that equation. So we can get x value by dividing both sides of this equation by 3. So if we divide both sides, we get that in this side we have 3 over 3 and that will give us 1 later, and here we have 6 over 3. So that gives us that x times 1, because this gives us 1, is equal to 2. So our x is equal to. Okay, let's move to another example. Let's say we have 2x plus 1 and that is equal 5. We can not only divide both sides or multiply both sides, but we also can subtract and add some number to both sides. So let's subtract a 1 from both sides of the equation. So if we subtract 1, we get that we have in this side 2x plus 1 minus 1, and it's equal to 5 minus 1. Now that gives us 0. That is equal to 0, and that gives us 4. So we have that 2x is equal 4. Now we can divide both sides by 2, just as we did in the previous example. So let's do that. Divide both sides by 2. I won't write it 2 divided by 2 again. So it's x is equal to 4 over 2. I'll write that, okay? And that gives us that x is 2. Okay, so let's move to another example. Let's say we have x plus 4 is equal 0. So what do we do now? It's actually the same as in the previous example. We subtract a 4 from both sides. So we get that x plus 4 minus 4 is equal 0 minus 4. Now this gives us 0, this is equal 0, and this gives us minus 4. So we get that x is equal to minus 4. Sometimes teacher says that I don't know if teacher says that actually, but at least students say that we need to move this 4 to another side, and that changes the sign before that number. So we get x is equal to minus 4. That is definitely faster than subtracting a 4 from both sides, but that is not what we are doing, and that is not right to say. So let's move to another example. Let's say that we have 3x plus 6 and it is equal to 2x plus 4. Now this is x, okay? So what do we do now? We also can subtract variables. Because x is a number, that means that 3x and 2x and all the other similar things are also numbers, so we can subtract them. So let's do it. Let's subtract from both sides 2x. What do we get? We get that x, or I'll write it 3x minus 2x is equal plus 6 is equal to 2x minus 2x plus 4. Okay, so that gives us 0, right? And that gives us 1x. So we have 1 times x, which is actually just x, plus 6 is equal to 4. Now we need to subtract 6 from both sides, and we get that x, this will give us 0, so I'll just write equal, and it gives us 4 minus 6, and that is equal to minus 2. Our x is minus 2. And actually, I forgot to mention it earlier, you can check if you solved it right. So just put this minus 2 into this equation that you are solving. So let's say we have an equation 3x plus 6 is equal to x plus 4. Now we put minus 2 instead of x, and we should get a right equation. So 3 times minus 2 plus 6 is equal to 2 times minus 2 plus 4. And now look at it. This will give us minus 6, so plus 6, and it is equal to minus 4 plus 4. It gives us that 0 is equal to 0, and that is essentially true. So it means that we solved our equation right. Let's move to another example. Let's say we have 2x minus 4x plus 12, and it is equal to x minus 4. So the first thing we need to do is to group our variables, okay? So 2x minus 4x will give us 2x, right? Then I'll just rewrite it. Plus 12 is equal to x minus 4. Okay, let's do it as I did in previous examples. So let's add 2x to both sides, and we will get that this will give us 0x, because it's 2x minus 2x and plus 12, and it is equal to 3x, because x plus 2x is 3x minus 4. And now we can add 4 to both sides. Add 4. This will give us 0, and it will be 3x, and this will give us 12 plus 4, and it will give us 16. So 3x is equal to 16, and now we divide it by 3, and we get that x is equal to 16 by 3. But as I mentioned earlier, it is very convenient to think of it not as adding something or to both sides, or dividing dividing both sides by some number, but actually like moving variables. It's a convenient way to think about it. Okay, so let's think we have the very same example. Minus 2x, it's after grouping, okay? So to save time, plus 12 is equal to x minus 4, right? Now, if we think about it as moving variables, it will be very easy for us. Let's say we have this minus 4 and we move it. Okay, maybe I'll take another color, okay? Okay, so I take this minus 4 and I move it here. And this will give us 4, okay? It was minus 4, now it's 4. Plus 12, as it was. And, okay, let me take another color. And I take this minus 2 and move it to this side. So instead of minus 2x, it's now 2x. So 2x plus x. What this gives us is 3x 3x is equal 16, just as we gave in previous example. So it's not exactly what we are doing, but it's very convenient way to think about it. Okay, so, and I'll probably be doing that because, well, it's faster. Okay, 3/2 times x minus x is equal to 4. Okay, so we need to subtract x from 1.5x, because 3 divided by 2 gives us 1.5. Okay, so this will give us 1/2x equals to 4. Now we need to divide this both sides, okay, I'm sorry, not divide, but we need to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, so let's do just that, and we get that x is equal to 8. Let's move to another example. Let's say we have 3x plus 2 divided by 4, and it's equal to 3. So now it's okay. So now if we have such equation, it would be nice to multiply both sides by the number that is in denominator. It will be easier to do other things later. Okay, so we multiply it by 4, and we get that it's 3x plus 2, and it's equal to 12. Now we move this to the other side. Okay, and we get 10, because 12 minus 2 is 10. And now we just divide both sides by 3, and we get that x is equal to 10/3, or it's equal to 3 1/3. Okay, I don't think it's necessary to write the integer part of a number, because maybe it's important in mathematics, but definitely not in our case, because we are just learning how to solve equations, and that is not our goal today. Okay, so let's move to another example. Let's say we have 12x plus 12 divided by 6, and it is equal to 1/6. So now our denominators is equal. It's 6 and 6. So if denominators are equal, the equation will be right, then numerators are equal. So we can immediately write this as 12x plus 12 is equal to 1. Of course, you can multiply both sides of this equation by 6 and you'll get exactly the same, but knowing that is convenient in more complicated cases. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so now we just subtract 12 from both sides. We get that 12x is equal minus 11, and divided by 12, and we get that x is equal minus 11/12. Okay, so that's about it for this lesson. I hope you understood how to solve simple linear equations, and see you next time.